Hi there. Week 2 of intention. And I wanted to take some time to talk to you about what to expect for your 10-week challenge, a little bit of nutrition basics, and some overall intention goals. Just want to make this a time where I can give information to you and it can help set the course. So, in doing that, I wanted to tell you, let me just, let's see here. One sec. I'm going to move my screen around here. Hopefully, I can see things. Okay, I wanted to tell you kind of week by week what we want to work on. Okay, so every week I have a theme scheduled or some information that I want to give to you. So, week 1, like I told you earlier, was all about onboarding. And in doing so, we've all struggled a little bit with some of the pieces of the website. Maybe it was payment, maybe it was the intake form, things like that, or Messenger, Facebook. How are we going to communicate? And I did learn on here that not all of you are fans of Facebook, and Facebook is primarily where we communicate. So, with that, I want to try something a little different. So, this video will be posted on YouTube. I'm doing it live through YouTube. I'm going to send a link. Hopefully, I can send you a link to your text actually, and then it will be on our website where you find your beginner classes. So, and I will try to do a group text rather than the messenger. I'm just going to try that this week, right? So we're just going to see how that goes. But we really do need to have that communication. And if you're not hearing from me, if you're not hearing from others, check yourself to see if you're participating. So we hold you accountable, you hold us accountable. That's how we work this. So what to expect. So that was last week. And unfortunately, your intake forms are still not really working that component. Some of you have turned in your intake form, but you only turned in your measurements and not your goals. Um, or your goals, not your measurements. Some still don't have them in. So please try to get those in as soon as possible. Be thoughtful on your goals. And remember, we really want to know what your intentions are. It's important to get those down, and they will change likely, but you want to think of SMART goals, right? So you want a specific goal. You want it to be measurable, attainable, um, um, relevant, and timely. So those are the things that you want to consider when you're thinking of your goals, not just to lose weight, not just to lose body fat, but how much, right? How is it measurable? By when? If you want to lose 20 pounds in 10 weeks, is that attainable? Is that realistic? It could be, or it might not be. So, those are the things I really want you to think about. And then, what are we going to do to get you there? Right? So, if you said you wanted to lose 20 pounds in 10 weeks, but you've only hit one class and you haven't been tracking your nutrition, your intention is there, but the follow through isn't. So, I want to talk a little bit about that intention. Let's start. So, week 1 was onboarding. And we talked a little bit about intention. We also talked about the website. We talked about the beginner classes. So this week, I want to talk to you about tracking your nutrition. I want to talk to you a little bit about the fat burning zone, and then hit those goals one more time because we didn't we just aren't there yet. So this week it will be that, and then we are going to talk about, as the weeks follow, we're going to talk about metabolism, we're going to talk about macros, we're going to talk about protein, carbs and sugar, and the alcohol, ladies. We'll be talking about fats if we really need them or if we don't, which we do need them. Nutrient timing, we're going to talk about assessments. We're going to talk about on the fitness and more about the classes, which classes are better for you, the difference between the fat burning zone, what the VO2 max is, how to change your body composition, and so forth. On the wellness end, we're really talking about intention. We're going to talk about stoicism. We're going to talk about gratitude. We're going to talk about resilience, right? And so those are some of the themes that we're going to be hitting. But I want to do a vlog with you every Wednesday and every Sunday. So on Wednesday, we're really going to, I'm going to hit your nutrition. And then on Sunday, I'm also going to talk about your fitness and your goals. Okay. Now, the wellness pieces of our fitness challenge, those usually come in the end stretch. I don't know if you noticed that, but I try to hit a lot of the wellness in the stretch at the end, right? So Wednesdays, you'll have a nutrition vlog. Sundays, we're going to talk about goals and intention, and then the wellness is at the end of your classes. Okay. So let's talk. That's kind of really what to expect. It would be great in your challenge to work from 3 classes to 5 classes. Um, I want to say that every Sunday I will be posting a beginner class for cardio kickboxing, and they're going to be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. And the goal is for you to, by the very end, is to hit those advanced cardio kickboxing classes. Unless you have experience with them, they really are difficult to just jump right into. You don't have other people in the class to follow. You really only have me. And those advanced classes, I'm queuing them faster. The combos are much more advanced. So I really encourage you to be in those beginner classes. And what's great about the beginning classes is you learn things at the slower pace. You learn those combinations. You really get a cerebral practice and exercise, but you're also in the perfect zone for burning fat. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about fat burning. That was on our agenda for today. Fat burning versus that high intensity cardio is when you keep your heart rate at such a level, which is really going to be at the very peak, like 140, you really want to keep it 120, 130 for the most part to hit fat burning. The minute you go from 50, 150 to all the way up, you stop burning your fat from your, stop burning calories from fat, and they start pulling energy from your muscles or your lean tissue, right? And if we really want to work on our body composition, we want to get rid of the fat, and build our muscle and maintain our muscle. So that's why you'll see a difference in what a sprinter looks like versus what a long distance runner looks like. The sprinter has more muscle, they're more cut, whereas the long distance runner is just thin, right? They don't have a lot of muscle. Um, in most part, you take those to the extremes, right? And that is by the way they work out and what they eat. So the beginner classes, I was talking to you in week 2 about our heart rate zone. And so my goal was to really keep mine under 150. Now, my VO2 max is a little bit higher. So my heart rate goes way up really fast. And that's not necessarily the same with everyone else. But for me, I need to try to keep it in that 120, 130, 140 at the max. And that's really hard to do in the advanced classes. And why? Because I love it. I love to go hard. And I'm in those cardio kickboxing classes. It's almost like my goal is different. That's when I'm training really hard. I used to train to fight, right, in martial arts, and so I really wanted to have that cardiovascular fitness. So when I was asking you what your goals were, if they're body fat loss or if they're really cardio and fitness at that level, I would recommend more of the advanced cardio kickboxing classes. But if we're just beginning, that is the perfect class for you. It's even better for me in terms of burning the fat that I gained over December after my surgery. So I really want to change my body composition back to where it was. And so that beginner class is way better for that. But I can't help it. I love the advanced classes and I still want to work that VO2 max as well. So what you really want to do is you want to preserve your muscle and get rid of that fat. And so we'll talk about how to do that with our nutrition as we go. But I really want you to be thinking about that because you're going to be reading once you start getting into it. You might read where, oh my gosh, if I work out really hard, I can burn more calories. And that is true. But a lot of those calories are not pulling from fat, they're pulling from muscle, right? And so do you want to just be smaller or do you want to be cut smaller and also leaner, sculpted, more muscular? Okay, not like Lou Ferrigno or Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that, right? But just more sculpted than you want to be in the fat burning zone. So that's our conversation on that. In terms of nutrition, where do you begin? Right? I want to be very conscious of talking about nutrition because sometimes when we talk about nutrition, it can be overwhelming, and some of you are going to be all over the place in terms of where your level of understanding is. I know Libby and Kira, you guys did Whole 30, which is fantastic. I definitely recommend that program. Um, it's just really eating for 30 days. You're eating everything whole foods, right? So I think that is really a very healthy way to go about it. You could do that and still do what I want you to do, either or both. But really, what we want to think about is you need to be starting to track your nutrition. It's just like a budget. You have a certain amount of calories that you eat a day, and that's all you can eat. And what are you going to, what are you going to eat for those calories? Just like a budget, you have $100 a day. What are you going to spend your money on? So when you think about it, you really have a nutrition budget. And if I have $100 a day, I can go out and I can buy Starbucks. I can go buy a pair of shoes. I could go buy candy. Um, I could go to the bar and drink. What I could do that with my $100, or what I could do is I could invest it. Right? I don't have to invest $100, but I could invest 25. I could put some money in my gas tank, right? I could buy food that is healthy and nutritious. That's going to become an asset rather than it's going to cost me more money, right? So when we think about that, think about budgeting your nutrition on a daily basis, right? So in order to do that, you want to be able to use that calorie allowance that you have and get the most out of it, right? So you can go use those calories on candy and all you want. You can go and get your fruity pebbles with the marshmallows if you want, but you have to know those are shit calories, right? They're carbs, which are good if you time it right, but we're not even going to get into that yet. What we want to do is healthy, nutritious food for your calorie allowance. So we don't know how much money you have in your budget. We don't know how many calories you have in your nutrition budget, do we? We don't know until you start tracking. So this week is all about tracking. Ladies, we have 10 weeks to get this down. So you don't have to be in a hurry because we want to make lifelong changes. So I recommend on your phone hitting MyFitnessPal right here, and you get on here and you start tracking. I don't want to go into all the ins and outs on MyFitnessPal because at this point I don't know what your expertise are with MyFitnessPal. So get on to MyFitnessPal and you can friend me. And we can share recipes and such like that. I just want you to get your feet wet in MyFitnessPal. And on Wednesday, we'll get back together and we will go over some more details on MyFitnessPal. But I want you to start tracking. I don't care what you eat. You have to track every single thing. So we know how much money to give you every week, how many calories to get you every week and every day. Okay? So that's your nutrition, that's your fitness, and your goals. So finish those goals up for us. Get on MyFitnessPal. Take class on Monday. Okay? I'm going to see you. I'll see you tomorrow, but also on Wednesday. All right? I want to say namaste.